Over here in the red, Root Gaming.
SuperNova.
That's him.
Yeah. Big news, him joining Root. They always pick up Koreans I really like.
Same.
Up here in the top left, our Zerg player.
CJ&2's effort.
Always really liked Yu-Gi-Oh's play. One of the scrappiest Zergs ever.
Yeah.
And, of course, who can forget my legendary love for Sage?
I miss him. I miss all those NS Hosa players, man. Sage,
All the what?
Seal, NS Hosa players.
Oh, yeah, I really did like that team. I don't miss
Jockey.
Tassadar, though, unfortunately.
I do miss him,
He
actually.
still pops up from time to time.
He, I think he played not this qualifier, but the one before.
Yeah. In fact, he made it to
Yeah, he
Code
was
A.
in Code A, that's right.
Yeah. We got to commentate him. I believe it was you and I. No,
Yeah.
maybe it was you and Tasteless. I don't remember.
It was...
Actually, it was you and Tasteless, because I remember I asked if the group was any good, and you're like, Tassadar was Tassadar.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He ended up being on FX Open for a little bit of time, I believe. And then, as far as I know, is still currently teamless. Probably still playing the game, but he just did fall off as a pro gamer.
Who was the guy with the really funny ID that meant, like, shorts?
On NS Hosa?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Sanai? That's
No.
That's not, that doesn't mean shorts.
No. Someone had something that was, like, meant, like, shorts or something. Like, short pants. Can't remember. It was really funny, though.
What race was he?
I can't remember. I know I'm not giving you a lot to go on here.
Yeah, I just can't remember, honestly, but...
That's okay. That's okay. I think it'll actually come to me
There's
eventually.
a lot of, like, really funny IDs back from the day, like free DSL.
Yeah, don't remind me of that one.
Next Free Saga.
Especially don't remind me of that one.
There was Apple, that reporter guy.
He was cool. I liked him a lot, actually.
Yeah, I remember that. Tank Boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, by the way, another fast speed build here. I love that SuperNova can, Effort can open up with things like really quick speed and just feel completely comfortable with it.
Yeah. Voice died there for a second, but yes. He's definitely a Zerg that is able to do his own thing, and I like that a lot. It's one of the reasons why I really like Marine King, even still to this day, is he tries to do things that nobody else is doing to sort of break shifts in how the game is played.
Yeah, hasn't been working out for him lately in Pro League, though.
Well, in TVT, he played a few recent TVTs where things just went horribly wrong.
Yeah. Who was that very...
He like made a bunch of Vikings.
Month he did it against like Maru, I think?
Yeah.
It was like a really bad game.
He was one game away, I heard, from qualifying for Code A. I cannot remember for the life of me who he lost to.
Oh, that's too bad he didn't make it in.
He's going to try to force a cancel on this bunkered effort, but with these 4 Marines coming down, it's not going to happen.
At least he pokes a little bit. Going to sneak a little Ling up here, see if he can learn anything. Not a whole lot, but that's okay.
Actually, he's trying to draw these units away, but it's just too well protected.
Yeah, and look at that. I mean, he keeps... this is some pretty tenacious scouting going on. Completely worth these Zerglings to try to get that done. Like, sometimes he'll get that SCV, sometimes he'll get a Ling up the ramp. Not every time, but really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Starport coming up now.
It looks like Hellion Banshee going to be the order of the day.
Yeah, still unclear about mech. We'll have to wait a little bit longer for that. It does have double gas. And is sticking with only 4 Marines for now, as that Tech Lab is building. The Overlord sees the Tech Lab.
Doesn't see the starport. Will he be picked off? It looks like just barely.
Yeah.
Which, you know, he tried to get out of there in time, but those Marines were a little bit too close. Well, the Roach Warren actually on the way. Cool. You know what? Effort, in my opinion, is one of the better players at defending with the proper amount of roaches against Hellbat pushes. Sometimes you see guys who like crush it, but then they have a lot of roaches and they make a few more and go for a counterattack, and then the game equalizes because they lost so many roaches. But
yeah,
a lot of the games I've seen from Effort, he'll make exactly enough to go with his queens, stop it, and then the roaches are on like defensive detail basically until way later in the game. And he doesn't like overcommit to roaches for an attack because that would get him behind. He needs to get his economy back on track, and I really appreciate the way that he balances that.
Yeah. It's just like a small set that will allow you to do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I see players go up to like 9 or 10 too. And
I would say this is an attack. This is nothing like
certainly
what I was saying.
he has to do something with them after he defends if that's all he wants to do. But this can oftentimes delay the landing of a third base. Can always be there to harass the third base as well.
Wow.
It's tougher though without speed. The longer the game goes on to actually use those 10 roaches.
You know,
He's
there's a
making
second
lot of
siege
overlords.
tank being made from SuperNova here.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of overlords. It almost makes me feel like he's really going to commit to a big roach attack here.
Yeah, I mean 10 plus a Baneling nest. He is really, look at that, 10 Banelings being made. Thing is, with 2 siege tanks out, this is a tall order to bust SuperNova for sure, especially since he sees roaches coming.
Yeah, he's like already weakened the roaches at the front.
Yeah, and I would really prefer he has one of those on high ground. I think that he thinks it's only roaches and not Banelings. But with the Banelings there to punch through the bunker really quickly.
Okay, now
these
he sees
roaches,
it.
yeah. Okay, another siege tank on the way, a Banshee on the way, still getting cloak for the counterattack after he lives through this.
Okay.
Let's see what can be done.
He wants to tank those Baneling shots with the SVs. Doesn't want them to hit the siege tank at last. It does hit the siege tank. First one goes down. Second one will fall as well. And this is looking really bad for SuperNova. Bunch more Banelings coming back at the end. The Lings as well surrounding here. And that third siege tank is not ready yet.
Yeah, he was a bit overconfident here, no question about that. Can use the Banelings to blow up this double depot. Really good move. Getting his roaches inside the base at the
Now
moment.
he can kill the tank as soon as it pops out.
That's right. And in fact, even going after this cloak, doesn't want to have to deal with that. Will get it. Of course, with the Banshee coming out, he technically can kill off these roaches, but the damage has actually been done. The damage he needed has occurred. He's killed a ton of workers. He killed a bunch of the units. He sees all the tech. He forced to cancel on the cloak. There's no mining going on.
Yeah, he's just losing way too many SCVs. He's going down to 17 now. And it doesn't matter if he lives through this. There's no follow-up. Even with the third CC, the third CC is not even an orbital.
Yeah, GG. Rightfully so. You know what? SuperNova was a little bit overconfident having both tanks on the low ground.
Yeah.
But I think that's because he didn't think it was Banelings. And by the time he saw it was Banelings, he didn't have time to retreat. He had to try that hold, and it simply didn't work out. Wow, because I would say when you have 2 siege tanks and like that's the tech you're going for, I would give an edge to SuperNova on holding that well enough to be ahead, but not this time.
Certainly not.
And you can see he's a little bit upset about that too.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't see a reason to make or to put the siege tank on the high ground, it's obviously better to have it on the low ground. Also, he could have made a blind third siege tank, but that's usually not too good either. You know, why make a blind siege tank if you don't have any reason to? So,
well. You know, that's it. SuperNova goes down to that loser match. That's going to be a pretty tough one going up against Leenock, but I think SuperNova is actually playing very well today, and I actually feel like right now Effort's better than Leenock, so I'm not counting out SuperNova yet.
Yeah.
I absolutely am not. The next match will be the winner's match between Terminator and Effort. Should be a good one.